Alright guys, this one's going to be Do Night Review today. This one's going to be Do Night Review for the Walking Dead universe, and another video for the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. We're going to be going over some of your Q&A comments and questions after the newest episode, episode 5 of Daryl Dixon. So, we've got 2 episodes left this season. We did our review yesterday for the 5th episode. Really good episode, really good episode. Then we did a predictions video for episode 6, which is the penultimate episode of the season, which I cannot even believe we're already at that point. But yeah, got some reactions from you guys. The overall kind of reaction from a lot of people is that the episode was good, that the episode was enjoyable. I had a few people tell me they didn't like, they didn't like the episode, but for the most part, people enjoyed the episode. So, in terms of kind of where I sit with it, like I said, I thought it was a really solid episode. I thought it was a really good time. I liked the survival element of Daryl being out there, surviving, helping a group of survivors. The train heist was really exciting. The desert environments were great. It was just overall a good time. It was a really fun episode to watch. I know some people have acknowledged that the episode kind of feels like a filler, which I don't disregard the fact that the episode might not have like the biggest impact in the end, but I just vibed with it. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was fun. And that's generally what I'm looking for with these spinoffs. I'm not looking for deep story, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for just a good time, you know what I'm saying? And I had a good time with it, so that's why I gave it, a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good. So, anyway, let's go over some of your guys' comments. Let's go over some of your guys' thoughts on the new episode as well. The first comment for today comes from William, who says that, Dan, I have to admit, this series is being carried by Daryl. This show is being carried by Daryl, and then a whole bunch of characters I don't care about. Damn, that's a way to put it. So basically what you're saying is that you like Daryl, but you don't like anybody else on the show. I would say, look, I still care about Carol. Look, I'll admit Carol this season has not been, like, anything special or anything, but I still care about Carol. Like, I wouldn't want her to die or anything. Like, I'm not at that point or anything, but I do agree that Carol isn't as good as she once was. That part I do agree with. Daryl, yeah, he's been great this whole season. I mean, Daryl's always good. When is Daryl not good, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a given. As for the other characters, I'm kind of with you, but I'm also not. Like, I'm interested in some of them, like Antonio, Roberto, Paz and stuff. There's some interesting storylines going on. I'm not hooked to the characters, though, like I was in France. And that is one thing I've mentioned in my reviews, is that I feel like the France characters are better. I much prefer Isabel. I much prefer Codron. I much prefer Quinn, even, you know what I'm saying? And, a lot of the other characters there. I just find they were more compelling, you know what I'm saying? They had more of a hooking vibe to them right away. These characters in Spain, while they're not too bad, I think they're all right. They're all right characters, up to this point. I do agree that, in comparison to the France characters, yeah, there's definitely a difference there. I do agree with that. However, I like them for what they are. They're all right characters. I do want, like, some characters from Spain, though, to be like, oh my god, I fucking love this character. Like, that's what I'd like to get. But I don't know if we're going to get that, because the show only has 10 episodes left, which, yes, that's a fun fact for y'all. We only have 10 episodes left of the Daryl Dixon show. So I don't know how much more time they're going to get to be able to expand on these characters and get me to really care about them, but you never know what they could do in 10 episodes, you know what I'm saying? My guess is that they're going to kill them all off, and Daryl and Carol are going to be the only surviving characters from the Spain storyline, because, well, they don't like to take any characters from storylines, which is, one of my biggest pet peeves with the spinoffs, is that I feel like they're not letting the original characters shine enough, and it's all about the old classic characters. And while I like Daryl and Carol, I would like to see some characters from this show survive and go into, other content. I think that'd be really good. But I don't know if they're going to do that. It's honestly, I would bet on them not doing that at this point, and if there are survivors from the Spain storyline that come over to the US, I would honestly applaud them, because that's what they need to do. That's definitely what they need to do. So then it feels like you watch this spinoff for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Then it feels like, oh yeah, there's a reason why I watched this show. These characters survived and went into, into another show, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? But without that, it's almost like, oh, okay, so it's just adventures with Daryl and Carol. You know what I mean? Nothing else to it. Whereas if, let's say, Codron survived and he went to the US, it'd be like, oh, okay, well that's cool. It feels like we got something out of that. You know what I'm saying? But without it, it's kind of like, oh, okay, so it was just kind of just a waste of time and kind of just goofing around. Yeah, probably. Which that's the type of stuff I don't like. But I'm hoping with Spain they don't do that. I'm hoping they can take some of these characters and actually make them matter in the end. But again, we'll have to find out. That's just seriously, just we'll have to see type of situation. The next one comes from Action, who says that, Dan, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was really great. The action, the cinematography was very well paced. And for a 55-minute episode plus, I thought that was really, really well done. And I thought it was a very exciting episode for sure. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was a long episode, too. That is one thing. I did notice that. The episode was really lengthy. It had a lot of, stuff going on in it. And I like that they took that extra time to let the episode breathe because, you had Daryl being introduced to these new people. He was helping them out, the train heist, you know what I'm saying? There was the Carol stuff going on as well, too. So it made sense that they took their time with it, you know what I'm saying? And they really let the episode breathe. Let the action sequences play out, really go big scale with that as well, too. Yeah, it was a fun episode. That's the best way I'd put it. It was fun. It was a lot of just crazy action and entertainment and, a lot of good fight scenes and stuff. Daryl blowing the guy's head off in the freaking bath, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was really good. I heard somewhere that Norman took that guy's bathrobe and uses it as his own bathrobe, apparently. I'm like, Norman's crazy, man. I mean, he's got Andy's beard in his freaking, like, freezer, I think. I think he still has that in there. He's got a few other props I know I've heard him say that he has, and then now he's got the dude's bathrobe. Apparently that's his bathrobe now, so I don't know. Hope he washed it, you know what I'm saying? But, in terms of that, I mean, Norman Reedus is insane. He takes props all the time. But, I agree. The cinematography, the desert location, the action sequences, I mean, it was all really, really well done. It was really just well shot, I heard somebody say that it kind of reminded them of, like, some old Breaking Bad shots out there in the desert, and I kind of agree to a degree, like, kind of the nice desert shots, the high budget looking stuff, you know what I'm saying? Except this one looks even better because we're in the 2020s now. Breaking Bad was in, obviously the 2000s, right? But either way, the cinematography was incredible. It looked really good. And I really like that they gave us some good, like, old Western shootouts, you know what I'm saying? With Daryl and, stuff like that. Again, very spaghetti Western, like they were advertising in the, the promotion and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's really good. This season seriously picked up for me, y'all. It really did. Like, I was not into it in the first few episodes, and I'm digging the hell out of these last couple episodes. They've really been doing a good job with them. I mean, you guys know me. Like, when something's bad, I tell you. When something's really good, I tell you. And I think the last few episodes have been really damn good. They've been really entertaining. And I would say that, if you're kind of looking to get into this season, I would say you got to power through the first few episodes. I ain't gonna lie to you, they're pretty slow going. But once you get, past those first few episodes, the season starts to get really good. Now we have to see how the season concludes, you know what I'm saying, with the penultimate and the finale. I'm hoping they can wrap it up in a good way to set up for the final season, but again, we'll have to see, because that's the thing. We're setting up for a final season. We're not just setting up for some random next season. We're setting up for the final season. So I'm curious on how big they're going to go for this finale and how big, season 4 will start, of course. So we'll have to see. But yeah, no, I've been enjoying it. I really have. I think they've really stepped it up and, given it just a better sense of direction, I feel like, and purpose to what they're doing. And it's just been fun, honestly. It's been really fun. Yeah, even if we don't see these people again, the people that Daryl helped in episode 5, which I look at as a possible thing. Either way, I still think they've done a good job with them. I still think they've, executed it in a good way, and it's a fun side story for Daryl. I mean, here's the thing. I ain't gonna knock them for doing a side story episode. Like, a lot of people say, oh, episode 5 was filler. I'm like, guys, listen, this whole show is probably filler. You know what I'm saying? It's a side story with Daryl. So, if you're gonna have filler in a filler series, then you might as well just sit back and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I'm at with it. If you give me filler, but it's good filler, sure, go ahead. This whole Daryl show is filler, y'all. It definitely is. The only way that I'll say it isn't filler is if, like, they actually take some original characters back to the States with them and actually end it with a massive, ending. But if they don't do that, then, I mean, this show is genuinely filler. It's a side story with Daryl. So, you give me a filler episode in a filler series, I ain't gonna complain about it as long as it's good. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with that whole situation. But yeah, no, good episode. Very good episode, and a lot of you guys seem to have enjoyed it as well, which I'm happy to hear. The next one comes from Butcher, who says that, Dan, honestly, I've been hearing a few rumors that Kodro may or may not be returning to Daryl Dixon to conclude the series. Do you think we could see him at the end of season 3? I personally think we do. Yeah, we could see Kodro. Maybe it's like an ending scene, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of this season. That could be something they do. Again, they're gonna have to explain how he gets over to Spain, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, you never know, I guess. I don't think Kodron would just get there, but at the same time, they probably won't show it. He'll probably just show up there, you know what I'm saying? Which that's fine, honestly. I don't really... Walking Dead these days, I don't really look at for a lot of logic, you know what I'm saying? I kind of just look at it as, like, what it is now. You know, if stuff just happens, I kind of just roll with it. Unless it's, like, really out there to where it, like, takes me out of it, you know what I mean? But Kodron showing up in Spain, I mean, you could do that, you know what I'm saying? It's not that far from France. Like, it's far, but it's not, like, you know, anything too insane or anything like that, so... I could buy it, you know what I'm saying? I could believe it, but yeah, I mean, hard to say. I mean, because maybe Kodron went back, you know what I'm saying, through the tunnels the other way. I think he did run the other way. So maybe he made it back to Falou, and then, you know, maybe, like, Falou wasn't there, so then he just kind of kept going and then went into Spain. I don't freaking know. But yeah, I do agree that we'll see Kodron. I think it'll be next season, but we could get a small tease of it for sure. Yeah, we could get a small tease of it this season to kind of set him up for season 4. Which would be the smart, you know, thing to do, I would say. The next one comes from Jet, who says that, Dan, I don't know, this episode was so-so for me. It felt like kind of a gap episode, kind of a filler. Also felt kind of corny with all the people that, you know, kind of, you know, Daryl just helped. Felt like kind of a spacer episode, and they found the part with the water with the little girl to be a bit odd. I actually found that part wholesome, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like that part because, you know, it was kind of nice to see this little girl. She gives him the water. Daryl, you know, helps her, then she gives the water to him as he goes. You know, she's like, hi, I'm Rosa, and he's like, Daryl, you know. I thought it was kind of nice, you know what I mean? Because it's this little girl, she's like seeing this hero in front of them that just helped them all to get their water back, you know. And Daryl helped them, you know what I'm saying? So I like that, you know. It also shows true character in Daryl because, I mean, yeah, he wants to get back home. Yeah, he wants to do all this stuff. And, I mean, I want him to go back home as much as anybody else. But I like that they did show that it's like, despite that urge, he still has to help people that helped him. You know what I'm saying? He felt the need to do that. And so he did that. He did something for someone else. They helped him. They saved his life. And then they, you know, obviously got the favor in return where Daryl saved their lives by giving them the water back and all that stuff. So I thought that was fantastic, honestly. I thought that was really good. It was a nice moment. But yeah, I have heard some people say, like, yeah, the episode's kind of a gap. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what's a fucking gap. Episode 3. Episode 3 is a fucking gap. Episode 3... Holy shit, man. I mean, you want to talk about a fucking snooze fest. The whole episode's freaking romance 24/7, you know what I'm saying? This one actually had some fucking substance to it. I actually felt like I was watching The Walking Dead, you know? With Daryl out there in the desert trying to survive, the action sequences with him on the bike, the train heists going on, the freaking drama in the town. This episode felt more like Walking Dead. And the last one especially was, you know, last week's episode is truly the one to beat, in my opinion. That's my favorite one. That one's really good. That's a really good episode. Episode 3 was just romance, the whole fucking episode. You know what I'm saying? That one, I will agree with anybody that says that episode's a gap. You know what I'm saying? That one sucks balls. Episode 4 and 5, love them. I thought they were great. I thought they were more like Walking Dead and more just interesting. You know what I'm saying? Simply put, they're way more interesting for me. And the last one comes from Norma, who says that, Dan, I disagree. I thought this episode was average. So, yeah, there's a few people in here that are kind of saying a kind of a mixture, and I like to highlight that as well. I definitely, like I said, I can understand that this episode is kind of a gap. It's kind of an average episode in that element. But the reason why I give it a 9 is because for a show that is already filler, for a show that is already a spacer, for them to, you know, just do more Daryl content, if you give me good filler and you give me dumb fun, which is what this episode was, I kind of look past it, you know? So, it's just, don't give me episodes like episode 3 where nothing is happening, then I'll flaw the fuck out of that, you know what I'm saying? But you give me an episode like this where shit's going on and it's, you know, exciting and it's fun and it's entertaining and there's action and there's, you know, character stuff, then I'll give it a, you know, a decent enough score. And that's why I gave this one a decent enough score as well, you know? So, simply put, for a filler show, this was a good filler. You know what I'm saying? you could say it's a filler, but I don't know. I mean, I think some of it is, some of it isn't. I think certain things will go on moving forward, you know? I mean, I can't say it's a full-on filler because Roberto, you know, obviously we got his information. We saw what went on with him. You know, the Carol stuff, obviously, with the leader is kind of getting intense, you know what I'm saying? And her and Antonio, and then obviously, you know, these people and stuff. Who knows? Maybe we'll see them again, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I wouldn't say it's a full-on filler, but it's more of a filler than some of the other episodes. I do agree with that, but it's a good episode, so I don't, you know, I don't knock it at all, really, for that. So, anyway, that's where I'm at with it. Let me know where you guys are at on this new Daryl Dixon episode. Definitely let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.